Breaking news. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk is dead after being shot at Utah Valley University. The assassination happened in front of 3,000 people during a live event, and the shooter is still on the loose. This isn't just another shooting. Utah's governor is calling this a political assassination. The FBI detained suspects, but then released them. So who killed Charlie Kirk? Why is the shooter still free? And what does this mean for American politics? I'm going to break down everything we know about this shocking assassination, the massive manhunt underway, and the explosive political fallout that's dividing America. But first, let me tell you exactly what happened in those terrifying moments at Utah Valley University. Before we dive into this assassination, you need to understand who Charlie Kirk was and why his death is sending shockwaves through American politics. Charlie Kirk was just 31 years old, but had already become one of America's most influential conservative voices. He founded Turning Point USA when he was only 18, an organization that's now the largest conservative student movement in the country. Kirk was Trump's youngest advisor and had been instrumental in mobilizing Gen Z conservatives. His Prove Me Wrong campus tours made him a household name, where he'd debate liberal students at universities across America. But Kirk wasn't just a political activist. He was a husband and father of 2 young children. His wife, Erica, a former Miss Arizona, was actually at the event when he was killed. Imagine witnessing your husband's assassination in front of thousands of people. Kirk had over 3 million followers across social media and was considered Trump's key weapon for winning young voters. That's what makes this assassination so significant and so suspicious. Now let me walk you through exactly what happened at Utah Valley University on September 10th, 2025, and why this feels like something out of a movie. It was 12:10 p.m. when Kirk took the stage for the first stop of his American comeback tour. Over 3,000 people packed the outdoor pavilion, mostly students excited to see the famous conservative firebrand. Kirk was in his element, sitting at his signature Prove Me Wrong table, fielding questions from the audience. Everything seemed normal. Then, at exactly 12:20 p.m., everything changed. A student asked Kirk about mass shootings in America. Kirk replied, "Counting or not counting gang violence?" Those were his last words. Seconds later, a single gunshot rang out. Witnesses say Kirk immediately grabbed his neck as blood began gushing out. The bullet struck him directly in the neck from what authorities believe was a rooftop sniper position. Chaos erupted instantly. 3,000 people began running and screaming. Some knocked over barricades in their panic. Kirk's wife, Erica, watched in horror as her husband collapsed, blood pooling around him. Within minutes, Kirk was rushed to Timpanogos Regional Hospital in a private vehicle. But it was too late. The 31-year-old father of 2 was pronounced dead, becoming the victim of what Utah's governor is calling a political assassination. But here's where the story gets even more bizarre. The investigation has been a complete mess from day one. FBI Director Kash Patel made the shocking announcement on social media, not at a press conference, but on X, that they had the subject in custody. This broke every protocol for major investigations. But then, just 90 minutes later, Patel posted another tweet that sent shockwaves through the investigation. The subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Wait, what? They caught the assassin and then just let him go? The FBI's explanation was that after questioning, they determined this person had no connection to the shooting. A second person who was detained at the scene was also released. Videos of him being arrested went viral on Reddit, but again, wrong person. So let me get this straight. Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a sniper in front of 3,000 witnesses. And 24 hours later, the FBI has no one in custody. The shooter is literally still out there. Even more suspicious, Witnesses are reporting there were only 6 campus police officers at an event with 3,000 people. For context, when other controversial speakers visit campuses, there are usually dozens of security personnel. The political reaction to Kirk's assassination has been unprecedented, and it's revealing some shocking truths about the state of American democracy. President Trump released a 4-minute video from the Oval Office calling Kirk a martyr for truth and freedom. But then Trump did something that's causing massive controversy. He directly blamed the radical left for Kirk's death. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers. Trump ordered all American flags to be flown at half-staff until Sunday, an honor usually reserved for heads of state or national tragedies. But it's not just Republicans mourning Kirk. In a rare moment of unity, Democrats including Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and even Gavin Newsom condemned the assassination. Obama called it despicable violence that has no place in our democracy. Even international leaders are weighing in. Benjamin Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin's envoy, Kirill Dmitriev, and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer all denounced the assassination. But here's what's really interesting. Stephen King, the famous author, posted that this was another example of American gun violence, but noted the shooter's motivation isn't clear. That raises the big question everyone's asking. Was this political terrorism, or was this the act of a mentally unstable individual? The more we learn about the security at this event, the more questions arise about how this assassination was even possible. Remember, Charlie Kirk wasn't just any speaker. He was one of Trump's top advisors and had received death threats before. Yet, witnesses report the security was surprisingly light. Adam Bartholomew, who was at the event interviewing protesters, told the BBC he was surprised by the lack of security. Nobody stopped me or searched my bag. The shooter apparently fired from a rooftop position, potentially hundreds of yards away. This suggests either a skilled marksman or someone with military training. The FBI is analyzing CCTV footage, but so far, nothing. Utah Valley University President Astrid Tumines said the university is committed to being a place where ideas can be shared openly and respectfully. But critics are asking, how can that happen when speakers can be assassinated by snipers? This assassination is already changing security protocols at universities nationwide. The question is, should conservative speakers now need Secret Service level protection to speak on college campuses? This assassination isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a larger pattern of political violence that's escalating in America. We've seen attempted assassinations of Supreme Court justices, attacks on congressional baseball games, and now the successful assassination of a major political figure. What makes this even more concerning is that Kirk specialized in engaging with young people on college campuses. His entire mission was dialogue and debate, exactly the kind of political discourse democracy requires. New York City has already heightened security for the 9/11 memorial events because of Kirk's assassination. If political violence can happen to a college speaker in Utah, it can happen anywhere. The timing is also significant. This assassination comes just as the 2026 midterm campaigns are heating up. Kirk was planning to mobilize millions of young conservative voters. His death removes a key figure from the political landscape at a crucial moment. Some analysts are comparing this to the assassination of civil rights leaders in the 1960s, targeting influential voices to silence entire movements. So where does the investigation stand right now, and what are authorities actually looking for? The FBI is leading a massive manhunt with state and local authorities. They're asking anyone with photos, videos, or information to submit them through an online portal. Utah Valley University remains closed until Monday. All classes and events are suspended as the campus processes this tragedy. The fact that 2 people were detained and released suggests investigators may have had specific leads that didn't pan out. But it also means the real assassin had time to escape. Authorities are reviewing hours of CCTV footage from multiple angles. With 3,000 people at the event, there should be hundreds of cell phone videos. The question is whether any of them captured the actual shooter. The FBI typically doesn't comment on ongoing investigations, but the unusual social media announcements from Director Patel suggest the pressure to solve this case is enormous. Charlie Kirk's assassination represents a dark turning point in American politics, and the consequences will be felt for years to come. This is the first successful assassination of a major political figure in decades. It sends a chilling message to anyone involved in public political discourse. Universities across the country are already reconsidering their speaker policies. If prominent conservatives need military-level security to speak on campus, what does that say about academic freedom? Mixed. Kirk's death also creates a massive void in conservative youth organizing. Turning Point USA was his life's work, and no one can easily replace his unique ability to connect with young people. But perhaps most concerning is how this assassination could escalate political tensions. Trump has already blamed the radical left. If the shooter turns out to have political motivations, we could see retaliatory violence. The question every American should be asking is, what kind of country are we becoming when political activists can be assassinated for their beliefs? Charlie Kirk's assassination at Utah Valley University represents more than just a single act of violence. It's a direct attack on American democracy itself. A 31-year-old father of 2 is dead simply for expressing his political beliefs on a college campus. The shooter remains free, the investigation is in chaos, and the political implications are staggering. This story is far from over. The FBI manhunt continues. The political fallout is intensifying, and America is grappling with a new level of political violence. I'll be following every development in this case and breaking down the political implications as they unfold. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because this story is going to get much bigger before it's resolved. In the comments below, tell me what you think. Was this political terrorism or the act of a lone wolf? And what should be done to protect political speakers on college campuses? Charlie Kirk dedicated his life to encouraging young Americans to engage in political discourse. The best way to honor his memory is to continue that conversation peacefully and respectfully. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay safe.